guys, as promised, I have made a video on the Rogue One Imperial Combat Assault Tank from the Vintage Collection line, and I thought I would give you a closer look and give you my thoughts on this vehicle. So starting off with the packaging, as I mentioned in the haul video, the mail haul video, not a huge fan of the multiple languages plastered all over the box. I think it takes away from the aesthetics of the vintage packaging. The original Vintage Collection didn't have multiple languages on there. I believe they made different packaging for the different regions of the world, but obviously they've gone down the cheap route and just made one packaging design for the whole world in the return of the Vintage Collection, which is a little bit disappointing because, like I said, it does take away from the aesthetics, and for me, and I'm guessing most other collectors, that's a big part of the Vintage Collection line. Alright, we'll get this thing out of the box and take a closer look at the contents. So that is how it is packaged when you first open it up. Nice to see the vehicle wrapped in plastic to protect the paint a bit. You get a very small sheet of instructions. I guess you don't really need many instructions with this vehicle. There's some minor assembly required, basically just popping those side cannons on. That's about it. And here are the side cannons, being done quite well, painted nicely, looking nice and grimy. You also get 3 of these container units. Can't think of the official title off the top of my head. I guess they're Kyber Crystal storage units or containers. So you get 3 of them. 2 of them are just sort of not solid plastic, but they don't have any articulation or anything. The 3rd one you can open up. Let's take a quick look at the sculpt and the deco of the containers first. Really nice. There's little sections of Aurebash writing on there. And so, as I said, this one, the 3rd one, you can open up. The other 2 do not open up. And inside you have these 3 Kyber Crystal canisters, and they themselves open up. So that is really cool. You got to be really careful when opening these. You don't want to. I sort of tried to twist it, but I don't think I damaged it. I think that was just how it came. But you don't really want to twist when removing or replacing those little mini Kyber Crystal canister lids, because you may break the inside parts there. So be careful. And yeah, it looks really nicely done. Now for the actual tank, this thing is absolutely brilliant. As you can see there, it comes with some of those clear elastic band type things, just to hold the various removable panels and hatches closed, even though I don't know that you really need them because they do stay closed quite well by themselves. But anyway, just need to get rid of them. And there you go. Have a look at this thing. There was a couple of removable panels in the back section there as well, but this thing is amazing. Wasn't cheap, like I said in my in my mail haul video, but I'm not going to bang on about that. Yeah, this is really, really nice. The sort of like, is it camouflage paint or is it just grimy? I'm not really sure. So you got the top hatch there, which I don't know why it was so difficult for me to open. Sideways, you idiot. There you go. That sort of upper turret thing doesn't rotate or anything like that, it's fixed in place. And then you've got another hatch down here on the front, which looks pretty cool. There's a hatch over on the top as well. What am I doing? Okay, so yeah, on top there's that little hatch there, and that, I guess, is that engine parts, or I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's a nice little addition. And here's a look at the cockpit. Alright, so I wasn't having very good results trying to show you the cockpit holding the vehicle up to the camera, so I thought I would hold the camera up to the vehicle instead, and this is probably not too much better, but I think you get a bit of an idea of there's a heap of detailed sculpt work in that cockpit there. It's really nice. Bit of paint work. You can see that seat on the vehicle's left, sitting higher, and that steering column on that side is adjustable as well. And down the back in that rear section, you can pegs in there, so you can put a bunch of troops down, a bunch of troopers in there if you want. So very nice. And I just happen to have a couple of hover tank pilots sitting around, so I popped them in the cockpit. I've got a 5 POA version and the Vintage Collection version. So that's the 5 POA sitting in the lower seat and the Vintage Collection in the higher seat. You can swap them over, they both fit in either seat quite well. The Vintage Collection, his legs sort of spread out a little bit when you put him in the seated position, so it can be a little bit fiddly getting his feet in there, but it's not too bad. And then you can pop that top cover on to give you that look. Of course, you can put one of the hover tank pilots in the top hatch there to recreate that look from the movie, where we see the tank not hovering, rolling through the streets of Jeddah. So that looks really, really nice. Can't wait to get the Vintage Collection Hover Tank Commander, which they recently announced at New York Comic Con 2018. And here is a look at the vehicle complete with the side cannons attached and the Kyber crystal containers placed on the back of the vehicle. You can see those side cannons rotate all the way around. There is another cannon on the front and down there in the middle. It just swivels from side to side. And the Kyber crystal containers fit really nicely on the back there. They're sort of angled placeholders to hold them in place, which work really well. They fit in there nice and securely. And I just thought I'd give you a quick look at the moving treads. If you look down there at the base of the vehicle, they work quite well. So it's pretty solid offering overall. And there's a quick look at the base. There's not a lot of paint on the bottom. Bit of sculpted detail, but not much paint. I think the bottom of the vehicle would be the dirtiest, but obviously not. So yeah, this is a really solid vehicle. Actually, it's quite heavy. It feels solid. It feels like if it was given to a kid and they were playing with it, it'd probably hold up pretty well, to be honest. I think you'd have to be pretty rough with this to break it, so it's really, really nice. I just thought I'd give you a quick size comparison. I thought I'd compare it to the Power of the Force 2 A-Wing. I'm guessing a lot of people have that, so you'd give you a bit of an idea. So it's a bit longer than the A-Wing, similar sort of width, but a lot more chunky up the front. Obviously, it's not a large vehicle, but it's yeah, it's not too bad. Alright guys, that was the Vintage Collection Rogue One Imperial Combat Assault Tank. A very well made vehicle, slightly undersized, but all Star Wars vehicle toys are, so that's not a huge problem. It's a little bit expensive, especially if you're outside of North America. I don't like the multiple languages on the packaging, but apart from that, fantastic vehicle, great play features, accessories, whatever you want to call them, the Kyber crystal containers, the removable panels, the opening hatches, the rotating treads. Really, really nice paintwork, nice sculpting. So overall, pretty good vehicle, and I'm glad I picked it up. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to leave comments down below, and as always, may the Force be with you.